welcome to this new moon in Scorpio moon circle. We're really happy that you've come along and joined us. My name's Dee, and I'm here with Tracey.
Hello, hi.
And we Knew the Moon. I want to start off by just saying what we're going to be doing today and what you need for today. Find yourself a really cozy spot where you're preferably not going to be interrupted for the next hour or so. Maybe you have a spot dedicated for this. Maybe you've taken yourself out somewhere into nature. Maybe you're sitting in your garden. Maybe you have a sacred space, an altar, wherever you feel cozy, safe, and uninterrupted. So we're going to be going through a guided meditation. Tracey's going to take us through this one. She feels an affinity for Scorpio, don't you? So
there's a lot of Scorpio in my sign, so no pressure on me for this one, Dee. I need to give it justice.
Which I'm sure you will. So she's going to take us through this guided meditation and through some journaling points. So make sure you've got your journal with you. That could be your notebook. It could be on your phone, or it could be an electronic one on your computer, however you do journaling or note-taking. For now, I just want to talk you through the aromas and the crystals in case you want one or during this exercise. I'll go into the meaning of them more after the meditation, but for now, you might want to know that the great aromas to use during new moon in Scorpio are the following: cardamom, coffee, galangal, which is a kind of ginger, Asian ginger, hyacinth, pine, and thyme. We call these aromas, we say this all the time, we call them aromas because you can use them in different ways. You can use them in cooking. You can actually make yourself a cup of coffee. You might have the scents in an incense stick or candles. You might use them as essential oils, or you might have them in, a nice bath bomb or bath oil. Bath with those scents during this time. And you might, I think I said, cook with them or have them in teas. And then the crystals that you might want to have to hand. Again, same with the oils, the aromas, these are just a guide. Aquamarine, beryl, sodalite, which I know is one of your favorite.
I've got it with me today, actually. Really good one for self-awareness.
Yeah, very underrated one that is fantastic. And fluorite. Got any of those to hand? Grab them. So I'm going to now hand you over to Tracey now that you've got an idea of what would be useful to have.
Oh, thanks, Dee. I'm also going to go rogue off the list again, which I seem to like to do.
I love when you do that, though.
It's a surprise, isn't it? I am going to suggest on this that you also grab a candle. If you've got one with the suggested fragrances, great. If not, a normal candle will do. It will become more clear why you might want a candle for this exercise. To summarize, it's really to bring a bit of light in a time where we may touch on a little bit of darkness. New moon in Scorpio, Dee, no pressure, hey? I feel this sign, Scorpio, is misunderstood, maybe misrepresented, and I really want to do it justice. Because new moon is all about a positive time, time for change, time for manifesting, time for setting new intentions and goals. Team that up with Scorpio, and I struggled a little bit to try and understand this energy and see how the two would coincide. It's a very closed introvert sign. But just because there's nothing going on the surface doesn't mean that there's not much going on underneath. And I think that's why Scorpio gets this misunderstood reputation of being quite mysterious and dark. This energy makes you want to just take a step back and observe and take on what's happening around you and create an opinion about it. And a very fixed opinion too. So it's quite hard to change that energy of a Scorpio. Today we're going to do an exercise which may make some of you squirm a little bit. So I'm going to add a little bit of a disclaimer. This is going to touch on a little bit of shadow work. Nice surprise for you there, Dee. Which, for those of you that haven't come across this before, it is facing the parts of you which we turn a blind eye to.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, and this just seems a little bit like, of course, this is Scorpio energy, because Scorpio has a habit of manifesting on things, so they build to an intensity where they explode. And if we process things correctly, then it shouldn't reach that point. And shadow work is very linked to, our dark side, the bit that we don't acknowledge, the bit that we turn a blind eye to. For some of us, we know it's there and we just choose to ignore it. For those of us that are a bit more in tune, maybe we are trying to work with it. Some of us, we still need to find it. We're still finding a sense of self, the bit that we've chose at some point in our life to just deny, not accept, or refuse to know that's there. Now, there's a reason we've put it in that closet, and there's a reason that we try and turn our backs on it. And that's because generally it's not the nice part. It can be a feeling that we've had at some point in our life, maybe through upbringing or a bad experience that we've just closed the door on and turned a blind eye to. So my disclaimer comes with the fact that if you feel you have a lot going on in your pot already, the pan's full and I'm already processing lots going on and I don't need more layers to my emotions right now, then there will be a point in this meditation where you don't need to turn around and look and add more layers. Personally, I'm at a stage where I feel like I don't really want to add more to what's going on with me right now, and that's perfectly fine. Acknowledge, accept, and have the confidence that you don't need to work on this right now. I will prompt you in the meditation of when to stop. You don't need to turn around. But for those of you that feel that this is something exciting, maybe you can discover more and get to know more of a sense of self and work on the side of you that you have denied or put behind. It's a great exercise to do under this new moon energy. So please get yourself comfy. Get yourself in a very quiet, sacred space. I want you to light your candle now, if you've managed to grab one, because we're working on shadow work and because it is turning to our darker side, a side that might not be as pleasant, it might muster up feelings. The candle is to signify light, hope, positivity, that it is okay. And when you're ready and you're comfortable, let's guide through the first part of our meditation to get relaxed and to go on this journey. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. As we focus on our breathing and we try to let go and relax. We're going to enjoy the journey that this visualization takes us on. Just a couple more breaths, breathing in through the mouth and out as we let go. And as always, let's start by doing a body scan, starting at the tip of our toes, working through our legs, to our tummy, noticing any areas that feel tense, anything that we're holding on to. So we just relax, breathe, release, and just be. Moving up now to our shoulders and the top part of our body. Our arms, our fingers, our neck, ahead. As we relax and start our journey. And when you're ready, let's start by visualizing a space outdoors in a quiet, neutral environment where there's peace and nature. And as we walk into the space, there are two fires that greet us. A fire to our left and a fire to our right as we walk and stand in the middle of the space we've created. Hear the fire crackle, smell the smoke in the air as we take a moment just to feel our surroundings and the visualization we've created. It could be a woodland, it could be a field, it could be a beach, but we feel safe. We're alone, but we're at peace as we enjoy the fires to our left and to our right, and we just be. Just take a moment to breathe in and out. Note how you're feeling and let it go. So we try to create a neutral space of peace. And when you're ready, I want you to visualize turning to your left as you focus in on the fire and flames and smoke that greets you. This beautiful fire of warmth and smoke that surrounds you as you breathe in the positivity and the nice space that it creates. And in the smoke, in the flames, or perhaps it's just a feeling, I want you to visualize a time, a person, a feeling, or yourself when you're at your best. When you're happy, when you're positive, when you feel good. This could be seeing yourself in the smoke, in your best light, and think of the words that you would use to describe yourself. Positive words, happy words, If you're struggling with the sense of seeing yourself, perhaps you're seeing a friend or a scenario where they've described you. How would they describe you in this positive light, and what words are they using? Or maybe it's just a feeling, a sense of self you have about yourself that's coming out of those flames. It's you at your best. The best words for you. The best scenario for you. The best moments for you. The best people for you. It's a beautiful, positive sense of self. Give you a moment just to find those thoughts, take note, embrace, feel, accept, and be. And when you're ready, turn again away from the fire and face the space around you and embrace the lovely feelings that you've just felt. For those of you that don't want to continue our journey here, if this is enough for you to guide you through a sense of self, please stop now. We are going to now continue to our shadow side, working on the part of us which we don't acknowledge, accept, see, or shy away from. For some of you, like I say, the pot is already full. You may not need to add more layers to this. Therefore, please stop the meditation. We will add where you need to skip to go through the next stage of our guide to New Moon in Scorpio. For those of you that would like to continue this journey with me, let's continue breathing into this space before we turn and face the other side. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. As we turn to face the fire on our right, the fire which was behind us, as we begin to visualize our other side. I want you to visualize the side to you where you didn't feel at your best. A side to you where you can acknowledge you weren't at your best. You perhaps behaved badly in a situation. Perhaps there is a situation which comes to mind which you would have changed. Or perhaps there's words missing from your positive fire that would sum up your negative fire? Words you don't use to describe your sense of self because they're not positive. Words that you put away because you feel they don't show you in your best light. Words you would use to describe your sense of self in your worst light. What's happening in that scenario and how are you feeling? It's the fire of words, situations, feelings that we've stored away, that we're now digging to embrace, understand, and accept. Note how you're feeling. Note what you're acknowledging. Note what people you see. Note your emotions. As we embrace our shadow side. And when you're ready, not spending too long in this space, let's turn again to face our neutral space in front of us. A positive fire to our left, a negative fire to our right. As we embrace both parts of our personality, we accept our positive and our negative, and we embrace our sense of self. Allow the smoke from your positive fire to rise and fade into the distance, and the smoke from your negative fire to rise and fade into the distance. Maybe the fires join and entwine and mix together so you have a real sense of who you are, your good and your bad, the bits you acknowledge and the bits you hide, the bits you see and the bits you don't, and the bits that you embrace and the bits that you suppress. We allow them join together to create a sense of self. We acknowledge those situations that have left us feeling upset, have brought out a sense of self that make us feel bad. And we acknowledge those situations where we feel happy and bring out our best sense of self. And we say the following: I forgive you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. I thank you. I love you. I let you go. I'll say them one more time as we breathe in, and let's really release as we say these words, as we release all of that energy that perhaps has been hidden for long, that we haven't been embracing for a while, maybe something that we've only just acknowledged, that we've kept stored away, as we say the following: I forgive you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. I thank you. I love you. I let you go. Breathe out. See the smoke fade as we release all of those emotions. Find our sense of self, a sense of calm, a sense of peace. As the smoke fades and the fires go out, and we're left in peace. And when you're ready, take a final breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. As we come back to the room, open your eyes for a moment. Just process what you went through, what you felt there. Any feelings that are still left lingering, let them go. At this point, I want you to be near your candle and see the light, see the positivity. It's all good, it's all okay. It's brave to face the things that we have deliberately put and stored away. We naturally do this for a reason, and it's not nice to dig this up. Acknowledging and accepting your light side and your dark side helps create a sense of who you are. And perhaps it was a scenario, perhaps there was something in that negative shadow side fire that brought back a lot of feelings for you. I'm going to give you a moment now to journal through anything that you feel came to the surface there that you do want to work on letting go more, because it is important to embrace what happened, what you felt, what you saw, and release it appropriately. So grab your journal and let's write the following. Please join me on this as well if you didn't turn to the shadow side fire, because it's still a good exercise to do. And you don't have to fill in everything here, but it's a great exercise just to have written down, and perhaps something will come later that you want to add. So going back to the words that we had there, I want you to write, I forgive you. And if there's anything that you want to add on to there that you feel you need to forgive for, and this doesn't need to be another person, it could be yourself. And the second sentence is, please forgive me. For every argument, for every conflict, for every moment in your life where perhaps a negative scenario arises, there's always going to be an element of yourself that you need to analyse, and it's good to let go and process that perhaps you need to be forgiven too. And again, it's forgiving yourself. So if there's anything you want to add to that sentence, please forgive me. And followed by, I am sorry. Is there anything you're sorry for? Is there anything that you did that you wish you hadn't? Is there anything that happened that you wish you could change? Is there anything that you did that you won't do again? And this is an important one. I thank you. I thank you for giving me the experience to grow. I thank you for giving me this test, for helping me achieve my sense of self even more. I thank you for giving me understanding. I thank you for helping me learn. maybe a negative situation, but there's always something to give thanks for. Next, I love you. There may not be much to add to this, but you may feel like you want to digress more. I love you and I let you go. I love you and always will. We've always said it is important, even for those souls, those energies, those people, those experiences that leave you feeling bad. Send them love, send them light, send them, wish them well, because it's better to send it that way than to hold on to a negative feeling. So send it love. I love you. And finally, I let you go. There may be something that you want to release, or that you did release in those fires, in those flames, that you want to let go now, that you feel you've processed, that you feel that you've accepted, acknowledged, and it's now time to release. Is there anything that you want to add there? I forgive you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. I thank you. I love you. I let you go. Keep that special bit of paper and keep saying it to yourself. Keep reading it. Keep adding to it. Keep changing it. Maybe start it again if you feel you have to. Really nice exercise to do if you have had conflict, if you have had a tricky situation, if you feel that you need to let go of something which is actually manifesting itself inside that you're unable to release. Scorpio is quite sometimes a deep and intense energy. For some signs, it's hard to understand how someone can hold on to these feelings and not release them. You know, your air signs like Gemini, they're very vocal and they need to talk about what's going on and communicate to others around them. But there are some signs and there's some energies where you hold it and it festers and it can turn into quite a negative feeling. Jealousy is a really good one to pinpoint here. You know, holding on to jealousy, it can grow inside you. And unless you accept it and embrace it and acknowledge it and release it, these negative feelings can grow. Dee is actually the expert on shadow work, but I wanted this to be a surprise for you a little bit because it felt like Scorpio has that reputation of being in the shadows. It is that intense energy. It's a perfect moon to kind of accept and grow as a person. And in order to do that, sometimes you need to embrace the good and the bad. We are humans and we all have our darker side. We all have the side that we probably don't see, acknowledge, or accept as much as we should. I am going to hand you over to Dee now, who's going to go through a guide to new moon in Scorpio.
I absolutely love that, Tracey. I wouldn't say I was an expert on shadow work, but it is something that I'm exploring at the moment. It's such an interesting one because for a start, it's so counterintuitive to everything that we see at the moment online and in all of our spirituality sources, resources, etc., which is all about positive vibes, positive thinking, etc., which there is a place for that. Obviously, it is super important, but there is a time and a place for taking a look at that shadow side. Thank you for that lovely present of a surprise shadow work meditation. I
wanted it to be a surprise for you. And it was one that I wanted to do justice for because I know it's important to you. It's also important to one of my other friends as well. Thank you, Charlie, for helping me do this visualization and advising me on it.
So following on from that, I want to go through a few of the things like we always do. So keep your journal handy, things that are useful at this time of the year and with this new moon in Scorpio. You're possibly at this time bored of small talk and crave deeper relationships. But this can go against your, at times, distrusting nature. So Scorpio can be a little bit reserved, a little bit wary.
Takes a while to befriend a Scorpio. They assess a lot.
Worth it when you do. But yeah, they're not the most open, warm, welcoming people at first.
No.
It's the slightly more... I don't want to say suspicious, but wary.
Just very closed, very introvert, very observant. Yeah.
So it might be time to have a look and see whether you are experiencing that right now. Are you the reason you're not having those deeper connections? Have you got the walls up? So it might be time to have a little think about letting yourself be vulnerable in the right place, in the right time, with the right people, obviously, but maybe it's time for you to let yourself be a bit more vulnerable, let the walls down, let the defenses down, so that you can meet people on a much more profound level. We always like to give you a few activities to do at this time of the moon. Spend some time meditating. So you've already started that by joining us on this guided meditation. Now is the time to think about investing your time, your money, and your emotions wisely.
I like that, Dee.
So, affected organs. So this is the next stage in our full body MOT, isn't it? These are the affected organs. Sorry, I am 12, because the affected organs are the entire reproductive system. So,
and what else, Dee? Anything else on that list?
Yes, the anus.
Interesting.
So, sorry, you know what? Whatever, it's bringing me joy. But have a think. Do you have any issues with your reproductive system, male or female, or your anus? The aromas we already went through: cardamom, coffee, galangal, hyacinth, pine, and thyme. Pine and thyme, very earthy, grounding ones, maybe because you need that at this point in time.
Very sensual. I was trying to think of the word for these. Very sensual fragrances, actually. And
cardamom, coffee, galangal are aphrodisiacs to an extent. They're also very zingy, energetic smells. Right? They're not calming.
No.
They're lively, they're fun, they're energetic. We always talk about herbal teas when we talk about aromas, don't we? So I'm glad we're paying a little tribute to coffee, because that is definitely my poison. Oh my God, too much. I'm currently working my way through a bunch of flavored ones. It's just so good. So at the moment I've got vanilla one. I've already finished the double chocolate coffee.
Well, here is your perfect excuse for coffee, new moon in Scorpio, hey, because that's on the list. And
exactly. Well, like I said, I'm going to make myself some Arabic coffee, because we always have it with cardamom, and the smell is just divine. Like, I remember even before being too young to drink coffee, which in Arab countries is about age 4. That's when they start you on it. So when I was about 3, I already loved the smell and associated it very much with home, family, love, warmth, conversation, because you have it whenever you go around and visit friends.
It has a very comforting, uplifting smell, coffee, actually, doesn't it? They say brew coffee or bake bread when you're trying to sell a house, because that's exactly the vibe you get off it. But it's a bit of an interesting... We've done quite a few of these moon circles so far, new and full moon. And I have to say, that aroma list is the one that intrigues me the most.
It's the most fun, isn't it?
Yeah, because normally we say, oh, this is relaxing, this is for nerves, this is for anxiety, this is to soothe, this is to bring about alertness. This, to me, feels like it's really tapping into the senses. You've got a bit of floral for like a uplifting, but then you've got like your really nice sort of coffee for home. Yeah. See where those smells take you.
This time of the year, this new moon in Scorpio, it's a water sign. So as you talked about, very fluid, emotional, intuitive, sensitive, which is when the stinger can come out. If the stinger does come out with your Scorpio friends, take note, because something serious has happened there. So the tarot suit linked to the element of water is the cups. If you use tarot cards or oracle cards and you have cups in them and you're doing your reading, if you get a lot of cups coming up, or the opposite, if you have no cups coming up in your reading, it's a good time to think why. The cups are associated with, again, being emotional, intimate, intuitive, romantic, and empathetic. So it's a time to assess these characteristics, these states of mind. We talked about the crystals already a little bit, but now I'm going to tell you a bit more about what they mean and why it's a good time for them. It will make a lot more sense now that we've gone through the meditation and what new moon in Scorpio means. Aquamarine. We've got here a lot of greeny, bluey colors. So aquamarine is just a lovely one anyways, isn't it? It's gorgeous. So it's great for in jewelry and stuff. If you like to use your crystals in the form of jewelry and wearing it, aquamarine is a great one because it's really, really pretty.
Always envious of those who have that as their birthstone.
Yeah.
Aquamarine, I'm not quite sure.
You can use it whenever you want.
Yeah, I guess.
You always say whatever crystals sing to you. Tranquility, serenity, and clarity. If we're thinking of Scorpio as a little bit like the swan swimming, all peaceful and calm over the top, and then like flapsy little legs on the bottom. Like,
Yes, I like
right?
that.
So aquamarine is to help bring tranquility, serenity, and clarity and calm to those flapping legs.
I like that, Dee.
Beryl, it's also known as the seer stone. So it's used a lot for people who use their crystals in divination. Scrying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It is associated with the crown and the solar plexus chakras. So it helps open them up.
Ooh.
And it is great for stimulating adaptability and dissolving obstacles.
There we go,
Which
see. Yeah.
once those obstacles are dissolved and we become more adaptable, we'll probably be more calm and tranquil and serene. So all linked together there. Sodalite, we talked about, is one of your favorites. Great for self-awareness and also for stimulating order and calm.
Yeah. I think great to have near you for your shadow work, actually, to create that sense of self.
Yeah, exactly. And then this one I love for everything that we've said so far, fluorite. Now, fluorite comes from the Greek word to flow, which is perfect for a water sign, isn't it?
It's like a purpley one.
It's so cool.
It's
Well,
my
it comes in
new
loads of
crystal
different
baby
colors.
that I've got in, and I'm trying to bond with it and understand it. So I'm so excited to know what this one means, Dee.
Well, it's also known as the rainbow keeper because quite often it's got, all of those different shades and hues in it, right? It comes in very different colors, and you can see light reflecting in it. So
it's weird as well because it has like green and purple, which are colours you wouldn't associate to go together in any circumstance, never mind in nature. But it has that alien look.
It's again one very much for inducing calm and peace.
And balance.
Yeah. So very much exactly creating the balance to counteract the slightly unsettling nature of water signs sometimes.
I feel like those in that order, Dee, are perfect for your shadow work because you've got your aquamarine to cleanse and clear and level to clear out everything that's there. You've got your beryl for your divination to kind of tap into your shadow side, ask the questions, get into that meditative state. You've got your sodalite for your self-awareness and to create a sense of like perception of who you are and tap into maybe the bits that you didn't see before. And then you've got your fluorite afterwards to just balance it all off and bring you back to square one of where you were once you've released to create a sense of harmony in the perfect order as well. Was that deliberate?
Yeah, sure. All of these are available on our shop if you want to pick any up, if you are intrigued by any of them. So do check out our shop. Now, the affirmation. Okay, so here's a new thing that I'm going to insist on for this affirmation. Obviously, you can tweak any affirmation. These are just suggestions, but they're affirmations that we recommend based on the emotions that are very common at this time of the moon and with this zodiac sign in the moon sign. But this one, I want to also, it's going to be hard on a podcast, I want to also insist on a pose while you say this.
Like a Superman pose.
Exactly. Because the affirmation...
Do we need to dress up as well, Dee? I feel like...
you can do. I always think that it's fun to dress up, so sure. But the affirmation that you might want to adopt for this time to say several times a day, or, in the morning and the evenings, you might have it like on a post-it on your computer screen so you could see it regularly. But the affirmation is, I am triumphant.
Da-da-da-da.
Exactly.
Superpower.
I am triumphant. And so the pose will either be Superman, arm out, or it will be hands on hips, like I am triumphant. Just saying it already makes me feel better. What about you?
Uplifted, and confident.
Right. I am triumphant. So that's the affirmation. Numerology, the number 9, which is, again, all of these words will not be that surprising for you after discussing everything we discussed, but compassionate, confident, independent, humanitarian. You know how you said that Scorpios are very often healers? Well, that is us. That's our moon circle for new moon in Scorpio. Hope you found that interesting, helpful, useful, and can't wait to see you next time for full moon in Gemini.
Don't forget to blow your candle out. Fire safety.
Love it. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. 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 Bye.
If you enjoyed that and you want more from us, why don't you head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/We Knew the Moon, and check out some bonus content.
Also, if you want to stay up to date, you can follow us on our Facebook page at we.knew.the.moon. If you could leave us a review on our Facebook page, that would mean a lot.
Our Instagram handle is the same as our Facebook, at we.knew.the.moon. We're on Twitter at We Knew the Moon 1, and we are also on Pinterest. Just search for We Knew the Moon.
Finally, if you want lots more fun, moon info and all things spiritual, plus our lovely shop, please visit our website, weknewthemoon.co.uk.